We Wear the Mask by Paul Lawrence Dunbar. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh the clay is vile beneath our feet and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask.
Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Oscar Wilde.
We are all born beautiful. The greatest tragedy is being convinced we are not. We became coward. Don't belittle yourself. Be big yourself. Hurry to Kent.
Good morning. My name is Julia Krys, and I am a sixth form boarder from Aspen, Colorado. And I am here today to talk to you about masks. In our everyday lives, we wear an armored mask, one that serves to fulfill a role. The role of a diligent student, a stoic teacher, or a bubbly admissions officer. I'm sure you have all seen those comedy and tragedy masks as a common symbol for theater. But the first mask I ever felt connected to was the goalie mask. On the ice, the mask provides protection for me. Plenty of people apologize after they shoot a puck straight into my face. But I honestly love a puck to the helmet. It makes me feel indestructible. A laser of a puck comes inches away from my face without destroying me. Like those roles in life we play, I like to play a role different than mine. There is a certain liberation in dropping my suit of armor and becoming vulnerable on stage. Playing a completely new person is exhilarating. A paramount rule of playing a character is not judging them. This can be very difficult, especially when you're playing an old, xenophobic, conservative man who enjoys the pain and suffering of others. If you don't know who I'm referring to, I apologize. In the fall production of A Sermon of Two Masters, I took on the role of Pantalone, somebody who I thought I had nothing to do with. I can so vividly remember the moment I got a callback email for the role of Pantalone. At first, I was overjoyed to see the callback notification on my phone. But as I opened the email, I was confronted with the name, Pantalone, and I was horrified. I was sure there was a mistake. I read the email over and over again and hoped for a follow-up email from Mr. Rashid saying, "Disregard my previous email," or "Got you, Jules." No such email came to my rescue. But I still could not get my mind around it. There was no way a young girl who considers herself a bit of an activist could be casted as an old man who was very borderline fascist. In the early stages of the rehearsal process, as I was reading the script, I was so uncomfortable with the words that would be coming out of my mouth in front of a full house later that fall. Pantalone mirrored our president with the slogan, "Make Venezia Great Again." It made my skin crawl. Not only did I have to say it, but as Pantalone, I had to believe it. That brings us to the wall. Pantalone, like a familiar spray-tanned man in power, wanted a wall around the perimeter of Venezia and addressed it as a matter of public safety. Now, I don't really want to get into the politics of why this wall our president is pursuing grinds my gears. But I had to find some way to connect with Pantalone, and it wasn't going to be his passion for partitions. Around that time, Mr. She was ordering a red hat that was meant to read, "Make Manesia Great Again." But seeing as I had a hard time uttering those words on stage in the rehearsal process, this was toned down to "Make Venetia kind of pretty swell again." If you didn't see the full play, again, I'm sorry. I'm mostly sorry because it was a hoot and a half. And for those of you who unfortunately missed the spectacle, it looked a bit like this. By the opening of the show, I was feeling really guilty for having been the cause of the hat censorship. I discovered it was my own insecurity to the material that held me back. I did not want to offend anyone, and I certainly did not want to make a joke of real issues. But these are my personal hang-ups, and I had to let those go in order to do Pantalone justice. Through the rehearsal process, I was forced to live in his skin. And just like every other person, he has a story too. A story that I was responsible for telling in truth. Once I embraced Pantalone and the back pay he gave me, I learned when I live honestly as my character and bear their same burdens, I gain empathy for a myriad of people and find the universal and personal obstacles that all humans encounter. Living as others on stage and telling their story helps me understand what role I play in my story. I make peace with my character's choices, even though they may not be my own. Just as my characters, I must learn not to judge myself. This is a constant struggle. I spend days judging myself without realizing that those around me have an interpretation of me that I cannot control. The catch is, wearing a mask is tiring. After an hour of open ice, I'm sure the sharpshooters in here can attest, I cannot skate in a straight line, and I am spent. After a night on stage performing, I am absolutely ready to hit the pillow. And through my time here at Westy, I have worn many masks and played many roles in the daily life of the fully functional, overachieving, all-encompassing student. When in reality, I did not feel that way at all. Beneath my mask lied a lot of self-loathing. That too must come off from time to time. As a teenager in this age of technology, constantly looking at our bodies, our personalities, and our lives, and comparing them to others through photos and social media platforms, it is so easy to feed our inner self-hatred without accounting for our full beings. We take bits and pieces that we don't like about ourselves and focus on how others have that and we don't. We foster this unhealthy self-image with ease and excuse our self-deprecation because everyone is doing it. I'm constantly hearing my friends criticizing themselves, and when I become aware of myself, I hear myself doing it too. Making self-deprecating jokes about my big Jew nose, or my curvy Hispanic frame, or my funky personality, because it doesn't match the idealized image I have on my screen. But I do all of these things without remembering that these insecurities make me an individual human being. Especially to those who are born into a minority, the world makes us feel like the other, but you too are beautiful. So here today, I know I will not get through to all of you, but I hope I can leave and feel confident that some of you will see me in this moment of not hiding behind a mask and fully accepting myself. I want you to ask yourself what your life would look like without masking yourself. Ask yourself how it would feel to start loving your insecurities because those are what make you, you. Ask yourself what it would feel like to fully accept yourself and relax into your being. I know this is no easy task, as I am sure next block I will leave to my psych class, shake off the jitters, and most likely return to the easier alternative. Like I mentioned before, that's one of the reasons I enjoy theater in the first place. I love being an entertaining character, and it's part of who I am. There is no denying that, like my goalie mask, our personal masks protect us, and there is a comfort in keeping a wall up. But if you consider your life with less of a facade, perhaps one that comes off when it counts. So I ask you, Westminster, what mask are you wearing today? Is it one that you like, or one that you are going to drop right when you get back to your dorm room? I urge you all to stop judging your character and love who you see underneath. Thank you.